4D Miner is a sandbox game with 4 spatial dimensions, and after many months of work, it finally has multiplayer. It's been quite some time since my last video on 4D Miner, so I'll quickly explain how the game works. In 4D Miner, you can explore a 3D slice of the surrounding 4D world. To demonstrate how this works, let's look at how a 2D being might explore a 3D world. This is Frank, a 2D being. Since Frank is 2D, he can only move in 2D and see things that are 2D. Normally, Frank would never be able to explore a 3D world, but we could put him in a 2D slice of one. Even better, we could allow him to rotate his 2D slice, which would give him the ability to explore all of his 3D surroundings. From Frank's perspective, he is still living in a 2D world, but when he rotates his 2D slice of the world, everything appears to change around him. 4D Miner works in the exact same way by allowing you to explore a 3D slice of a 4D world. When you rotate your 3D slice of the world, you'll see things appear in front of you that you couldn't see before, even though they were right next to you the whole time. If you think that sounds crazy, imagine this game with online multiplayer. Early access to 4D Miner's multiplayer is available right now on my Patreon. If you want to experience all of the bizarre facets of a 4D multiplayer sandbox, as well as support the game's development, I highly recommend becoming a 4D Hyper supporter. I also recommend checking out 4D4T, the oldest Anarchy server in 4D Miner. But what's so cool about 4D multiplayer anyway? Well, first of all, 4D player skins. In most 3D games, player skins have 2D surfaces, along with every other 3D object. 4D objects, on the other hand, have 3D surfaces. To a 4D being, 3D objects are completely flat. So how would you make a player skin with a 3D surface? Well, in a regular 3D game, only the outsides of player skins are modeled. In 4D Miner, both the outside and inside of player skins need to be modeled. This means that when you make a skin for 4D Miner, you have to include all of the bones, muscles, and organs, as well as the outside parts of the player. In multiplayer, when you see another player rotate their 3D slice of the world, their body rotates with it, allowing you to see all of their insides. To explain why this happens, let's pay Frank, the 2D being, another visit. If Frank was an anatomically correct 2D Forg, we would be able to see his insides, since we are 3D and he is only 2D, which would make it completely pointless to try to dissect him. If we give Frank a friend and put them together in a 3D world, whenever Frank rotates his 2D slice of the world, his friend can start to see his insides. The exact same logic applies to 3D beings in a 4D world, which is why player skins must include the insides of the player as well as the outsides. Player skins are highly customizable in 4D Miner. There isn't really a predetermined shape for them, so there is a lot of room for customization. This skin, for example, looks like Frank controlling a mech. Instead of muscles and bones, you can see colored wires on the inside of this skin. If you want to see a tutorial for making 4D Miner skins, as well as some other cool 4D Miner videos, I highly recommend checking out Ramder's YouTube channel, link in the description. Skins are only useful when you can actually see the players, but 4D Miner's multiplayer gets a lot weirder when you can't see them. Since you aren't confined to only 3 dimensions in 4D Miner, you can easily walk in and out of someone else's 3D slice of the world. If you leave another player's world slice, they won't be able to see you anymore. But if you rotate your slice of the world just right, you will still be able to see them. This means anybody can ambush you from the 4th dimension at any time. That may sound pretty scary, but luckily, there is still a way to see them coming. In 4D Miner, if you equip the 4D glasses, you will be able to see the outlines of most objects, even if they are hiding somewhere in the 4th dimension, and that includes other players. Not only is this useful for both finding and avoiding other players, but it can also help to do the same for 4D creatures such as the hyper spider and the butterfly. You can also use the 4D glasses to find item drops, chests, and a new item called the Alidade. The Alidade is a new item designed to enhance 4D Miners multiplayer. A lot of the time, you will be in a completely different slice of the world from everyone else. If you're trying to sneak up on people or hide from them, this might be exactly what you want. But if you want to go on an adventure with someone, or show them a build that only looks right from a specific slice of the world, you want them to be able to join you, and manually lining up your world slice with someone else's would be nearly impossible in most cases. That's where the Alidade comes in. The Alidade can be crafted from a compass, which is another tool to help navigate through 4D space. When you place an Alidade on the ground, it will be facing the same direction as you in 4D space. Other players can then locate the Alidade using the 4D glasses, and then align themselves with the Alidade's orientation by right-clicking on it, which places them in the exact same slice of the world as you. On 4D4T, the oldest Anarchy server in 4D Miner, there's a village with several Alidades placed throughout it. If you right-click on this Alidade, the village will look completely different, with entirely new parts of the village becoming visible. With all of these features put together, there are entirely new PvP mechanics not seen before in any other game, entirely new ways to collaborate and build 4D structures, and entirely new ways to explore the vast expanse of 4D blocks that surrounds you. And that's only the beginning. 4D Miner is still very much in development, with many new features planned. Multiplayer has been the largest hurdle in all of 4D Miner's development, and now that it's working, development should start to go much more quickly again. If you want to keep up with the development of this game, I highly recommend hitting the subscribe button. One of the biggest aspects of 4D Miner that I plan on expanding in future updates is PvP. I plan on adding items like the Deadly Axe, as well as projectile-based weapons. There are already items in the game, such as the Solenoid Collector and the Compass, that use solenoid ore for 4D magnetism. And I think the same material could be used to make magnetic projectiles that follow enemies and players in 4D. I also plan on doing a major overhaul for the game's sound. Directional sound has already been added to make multiplayer more enjoyable, but I am considering adding more effects, such as reverb that gets stronger the farther away something is from your 3D slice of the world.
There is also a poll on the Patreon right now that will decide whether water or seasons are added to the game first. If you want to participate, you have until September 30th. Yes!
If you want to have early access to all of these features as soon as they come out, and be able to play 4D Miners multiplayer right now, please consider becoming a 4D Hyper supporter on my Patreon. Not only will you have access to the latest game builds and exclusive perks in the official 4D Miner Discord server, and the ability to play on 4D4T, the oldest Anarchy server in 4D Miner, but you will also be supporting 4D Miner's development. I want to thank everyone who has supported 4D Miner's development up until this point. It's unlikely that any of these new features would be possible, especially multiplayer, without all of your support, so thank you all so much for helping out with that. For the remainder of this video, I will be showing a bunch of clips from 4D Miner's multiplayer on 4D4T, and Redjard's infinitely generating Backrooms server. If you want to see more 4D Miner content, and hear about some additional planned features that I wasn't able to talk about in this video, I highly recommend checking out Ramder's channel. He has a lot of great 4D Miner content, including a tutorial for making your own 4D Miner skin.
Oh, there is a Mario.
Like you, Mom.
Yeah,
but the best one is next to it, you know, my face.
No, that one's
Oh,
cool.
Mario.
Goodness, I thought that was just a random collection of blocks. I now see.
No, that's my beautiful
Oh,
face.
can we please destroy Raptor's face?
No.
No!
Why not?
would you destroy Ramder's face?
Look at it.
Why wouldn't you
That's a
destroy
dream come
Ramder's?
Look at it.
Exactly.
That's your keep doing that.
Yeah, every night I dream
That'll
about
help you. I'm gonna kill
Ramder's.
Nefei too.
Let's go.
Die, Nefei!
Let's go.
Oh man, doesn't say who killed it.
Yay.
It.
It's
It's
Okay, now what? I'm at spawn.
It now.
Oh, we'll get to you.
no more Ramder.
Okay, but should we go on the back rooms now? I think we got everything here.
Is there a different server for the back rooms?
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
one of the servers from Redyard, but it requires switching out some of your textures and files.
Alright. Remember, they changed your eyes. It doesn't look
Yeah,
right.
there's no deadly or eyes. I don't like that. There's one thing
Oh,
I hate
I
in this game.
can't.
It's
Now
I
you're
don't-
glowing.
I can't fix
Your
it.
eyes are
I don't
glowing.
have leaves.
Look,
Leaves?
look, I'll get.
You have
if
to have
there's
a good
one thing, I
pickaxe.
hate in this game. It's the like the deadly or stuff. You know.
Well, I have the
So-
ultra hammer, but I don't have leaves. I can't replace them. He's just gonna have mist.
Who did that? Who was that?
Get him! Get him! Get him! Where'd he go?
No! I'm actually on
What?
the verge.
Fly.
Come back!
This game has no hacking exploits, I swear.
This isn't fair. Come back.
Currently, nobody's flying. You know. This is a cool thing. The Elidate up there at the
Rander, I added an Aldate to get into the
look.
cave.
up here. Does anyone see where I am?
Yeah.
Yes.
This Elidate flips your rotation like
Oh.
completely, so everything will be inverted.
Okay, well, at the entrance of the cave, there's an
lost.
Aldate
Who
to get
broke
back
it?
to the cave.
Someone broke the Alidade.
I'll place a new one.
Nerae?
It
Hmm?
might have been me. I was trying to attack.
I just came
Astro.
here. Stop
Okay, yeah, that
Oh,
Elidate
accusing
flips
me.
you, like completely.
Oh yeah.
I can't see name tags sometimes.
Look, now if you go down here, everything is completely flipped. It's if you know this place,
That's
it's
so
really
weird.
cursed.
I don't know. I'm not really paying attention.
You can go back
Oh,
from
I'm
the...
familiar
it's
with
flipped
this place,
that
so
way.
as soon as I like, for some reason, this is now here, where it wasn't before, and it's
Yeah,
all
it
really
looks-
confusing.
Looks strange. Yeah,
Yeah, I
over
got
there.
one.
There's over here. Okay, does everyone have a stone hammer now?
Yes.
Yeah.
21st is in the 4th dimension.
Wait, is this arena like fully
It's
4D?
it's 3-layer stick.
Oh, okay.
It
Only...
takes a lot of time to make it, so I didn't want to make it bigger.
Yeah, no, that would take forever.
Seriously.
Also, it's harder for PvP. Oh, I guess 21st.
I expected
21st
better
is
of you,
definitely-
Rander.
Okay,
I'm gonna go to this layer.
Did I count down? Oh, I'm not. I'm using my.
Someone's
I
already
don't have a hammer
dying.
myself. What the hell?
I can't
I
get
had a hammer for
up.
everyone except myself.
Then jump.
I'm trying. I can't jump 4 blocks.
Alright,
Fight.
are we going now? Okay.
He said fight in chat. That's the cue to go.
Why are people in the...
I'm getting Rander.
Is Mashpo already dead?
I
thought
died,
Lemon
darn.
was dead.
Ah, I died.
I'm alive still. Why is nobody hitting me?
You're
I
here.
can't find you people. Where are you?
I actually
Right,
cannot
where you
find
going,
anyone.
Dan? Let's go.
Oh, I died.
I'm dead.
I'm at
Hey,
full health.
Mashpo.
What?
How do you do
Rander,
this
you're
again?
alive. What do you mean? Oh, what? How delayed am I?
Okay.
I
1v1.
gotta go back over there now.
Gotta restart the game.
I'm gonna spectate if people are still
I
alive.
think I am.
Yeah,
I
gonna
think
also
I am
spectate
just.
If I can get back to the arena. in
There are
time.
so many
people still
holes in the
fighting?
ground for no reason.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna.
Oh,
Spectate.
I can hit him. Oh. They're a pancake.
Huh?
Oh, I got stuck
I
on the
can't
floor.
get back to the normal dimension.
Oh, I found him. No, I died.
Just do
Okay.
Control R. That might fix
Okay, is
it.
there still a fight to watch?
No, it isn't fixing it.
No, too late. I died.
I'm just gonna
I-
read.
Hello, Mashpo. Hello.
Like, guys, I'm
21st.
literally so
Guys, I
lost.
found
Oh, I
Mashpo
can
in
see
the
your
back
skin.
rooms.
Okay. Oh, he
I
disappeared.
found Mashpo in the back rooms, guys. That's gonna be a
Oh,
good
Ran-
clickbait title.
I can see
Oh,
his
Rander.
skeleton.
I just found out
Only
that
if you
Mashpo has
dare
a blog
title
as
the
well.
video. You shouldn't kill Render.
No, don't kill me.
Oh, alright.
I'm dying.
Yeah, that's the
Sandwich.
goal.
That's the whole point of killing you.
That's I understand.
That's
yeah.
our goal, Rander.
Killing Rambo
Get
in
him.
the back rooms.
Hey,
Let's go.
Let's go!
We killed Render in the back room.